My name is Coach PJ Sheridan here from the Fight Camp studio. And today I'm going to talk about my first time sparring a professional boxer. And it definitely humbled me and led me to where I'm at today. My first time. Way back in the day when I was a 4-0 amateur fighter at West Virginia University. I fought at the 185-pound division. I usually weighed around 200 pounds, but I had won my first 4 fights, mostly all by knockout, and I had this young man's confidence. I don't want to say cockiness, but I certainly was full of myself and thought I was great. Even though I had just began boxing within 8-12 months, I had gone back home to Philadelphia for a weekend, and I had connected with a friend of mine, Bryant Jennings, who was a heavyweight fighter. He's fought guys like Klitschko, amazing fighter. And I asked him if I could tag along and train with him. So he said yeah, and he actually invited me to ABC Rec in Philly, and walked in. It was one of my favorite gym experiences ever. Really hot inside. The doors are up, the heat's on, and a bunch of great fighters are all putting that work in. Well, I got a couple light rounds with BY after, warming up, and he was kind enough, again, being a professional heavyweight fighter, to let this, young 200-pound kid get in the ring with him, just to move around. A little after we got out the ring, a fighter came in. I didn't know who he was, but he was looking for some sparring. And I was like, oh, I like to spar. I'm good at this. Yeah, come on, I'll get in there. BY was just in the corner with me. Just be careful a little bit. I was like, what you mean? Okay, cool, no problem. I know how to spar. So we get into the ring, and little do I know that the guy that I'm sparring with is Gabriel Rosado at the time, who, he's a pretty decent 160-pound contender, fought guys like Triple G, so he's the real deal. We get into the ring, and our first round of sparring, I noticed that we're moving around, I'm throwing a couple jabs up and down, and he's not really firing anything back at me, and he's kind of just taking his time, moving, making me miss pretty easily. Got a little frustrated inside, but I start throwing some more jabs, and then I try to get inside, and then Gabe finally throws a punch. Jab, just right in my nose, like just sharp, fast, painful. I tried not to show it, but that was the first time a pro fighter had hit me, and I learned. Little did I know that he was going light on me actually, and just working a little bit of his defense, but the fact that he was able to fire a pretty precise jab and stop me in my tracks for a moment taught me a valuable lesson, that there are levels to fighting. Amateurs aren't the same as pros, and pros aren't the same as contenders, and contenders aren't champions. It humbled me in a whole lot of ways as I took that valuable lesson back to college and ended up, becoming an All-American. But that was a huge moment for me to see, oh, I'm not quite as good as I am. I have a lot to learn and a lot to grow. And the great part about boxing is that it is a sport that you can never stop. You can literally learn about the sport for the rest of your days, from footwork to balance to timing to defense to rhythm to conditioning. So here at Fight Camp, we've designed things like the prospect path and the contender path. In the prospect path and the contender path, what you'll be able to do is actually go through levels and train alongside all the Fight Camp coaches as we teach you the simple basics from your stance to defensive moves like your slips, your rolls, high blocks, low blocks, and all of the punches and counters in between. It's a valuable tool that I actually wish I had back in the day, because when I got in the ring with Gabriel Rosado, I had no idea how to parry or how to even really slip. I just knew how to punch and how to move. That is a little bit about the full story of my first time sparring a pro boxer.